What's up, y'all? It's Mace Blanco on 610 from G's to Millions. I don't need Clout the podcast. This is episode 11. We're going to get right into it today. I'm going to save you the intro. It's my second episode today, so let's just get right into it. All right, and today's topic is going crazy online. We're talking about 1090 Jake. You know, he has a lot of enemies, so the question is, has 1090 Jake officially been exposed? All right, so before we break that down, we'll go ahead and start from the beginning. Who is 1090 Jake? 1090 Jake, for those of y'all that don't know, he is a popular YouTuber. He runs a YouTube channel called End of Sentence EOS. The End of Sentence YouTube page, what they do is they research popular, controversial criminal court cases and they break it down for you on a YouTube video, exposing the paperwork and exposing if somebody is snitching or not. And a lot of people were like, I don't give a damn who is snitching or not. But it's been going crazy among rappers who claim that they're so real. They claim to be the hardest ever. Everybody did time and they kept it solid and they stood 10 toes. And then Jake gets a hold of the paperwork. And overall, Jake is going by exactly what the paperwork says, what's in the black and white. One thing I like about Jake is I haven't seen any favoritism at all. Like, nobody is safe when it comes to Jake reading the paperwork. He's going to give it to you exactly for what it says in black and white. Jake even said people tried to bribe him. He's not going for that. You could offer Jake $1 million. He's going to drop your shit on YouTube. He's declining that. He don't need that money. He's going to make it back off AdSense. He's going to get his money regardless. He just wants to put the truth out there. And that's somebody that I respect. Somebody that's really putting truth over financial gain. So watch out. If you have something that you're hiding and it's on public record, but you're still trying to hide in the shadows, Jake is going to find that. So like I said, when you make this type of content or you make content that is controversial, like Jake does, like I do, like a lot of the popular podcasts that are getting kicked off of YouTube, like they make, you're going to ruffle some feathers for real. Like you're going to find a lot of people in the streets that are going to be exposed. They're trying to hide the fact that they snitched, but like I said, it's on public record already. And people were trying to hide the fact that they snitch because the shit really get serious. Like people die over snitching, or at least they used to. I'm sure it still happens, but you know, this new age shit is a little different. Like the kids growing up now don't really care about that. Like the generation that came before us and our generation, where there used to be consequences for snitching. It still exists. You know what I mean? Obviously people want to hide it. They don't want that to be exposed. So there's definitely some kind of negative aspect when it comes to snitching still. So even though these guys are bending the rules and snitching and saying fuck it and going on with their lives with seems like no consequence, there's definitely still some consequences, especially if you're in the rap world. If you're in that kind of space, people are not going to fuck with you no more. And shit, you brought it on yourself. You telling a couple rappers that Jake had exposed already and made YouTube videos on. One of the big ones, came out with the interview, the police interrogation interview footage for that nobody was expecting, was Boston Richie. That one was definitely a shocker. I was surprised. You know, Future put him on. It seemed like he was hitting different crazy level milestones in rap. And then here comes these snitching allegations, which we all got to see for ourselves. This wasn't just a video that Jake put out. This was a full-blown police interrogation video for you to watch for yourself and make your own decision about if it was snitching or not. Then you have Finesse 2 times. I didn't even get too caught up in that. It seemed like he didn't even give a fuck. Finesse 2 times said, yo, my people are going to rock with me regardless. And that type of statement really made me think that he probably did snitch, because if you didn't snitch, you're just going to stand on the fact that you didn't snitch. But when you did snitch, saying something like that, my people are going to rock with me regardless, just seems like everybody might kind of know about it. If there was a situation and you told a little bit of something, you might not have been too serious or whatever. It just seemed like a weird response for me to say my people are going to rock with me regardless. Just seemed like, I don't know, bro. That didn't seem too solid if you ask me. But then again, I don't really give a fuck. So that's why I didn't even look into the shit, because I didn't give a fuck. But another big one, Spot 'em Got 'em. Man, he had a hit. Spot 'em Got 'em was shit. I don't know. That shit might have even touched the charts. He had a viral TikTok challenge. I know Gilly the King, he took that challenge to the next level. After that, I'm pretty sure Gilly was the reason that took off like it did. Nonetheless, the song was hot. But then same thing. Snitching allegations. You got to see this for yourself. His career just hasn't hit the same after that. I think he got locked up a couple more times or whatever, but people aren't really interested in you when they realize that you're folding under pressure. But like I said, in this line of work where you're pulling up facts, people seem to hate the truth for some reason. I am reminded of that every single day, but you're going to make a lot of enemies. So 1090 Jake, he got a lot of enemies out here from the type of work that he does. And his enemies are the people that don't really want those stones unturned. They don't want the skeletons that they have in their closet to come out. And these people will hate you forever. Even though it might have been a mistake that they made, they might have got tricked out of their spot, they might have just made a bad judgment call. It could have been back when they were young and they're still learning life lessons, whatnot, whatever their excuse may be. They're going to hate somebody like Jake who exposes them and calls them out for that shit that they're trying to hide. Bro, they're going to hate Jake forever. So keep that in mind. I said all that to say this. This isn't the first time somebody tried to expose 1090 Jake. Like I said, when you make enemies in this shit, it's always constantly going to be an uphill battle fighting against rumors and people believing bullshit about you and people just trying to dig up anything that they possibly can to ruin your credibility and ruin whatever it is that you got going on. And you know why? They have motive. They want that get back. They want revenge because you called them out on their bullshit. All right, so the latest attack on 1090 Jake's credibility, on his street cred, attacking the fact they want you to question if this guy is really solid or not. So what's circulating right now is some semi-convincing paperwork on 1090 Jake. Let's take a look at it. All right, and I'm going to break this down. The only issue with this paperwork is that it's not a statement. This wasn't a report with the intention of getting somebody in trouble. This was a grievance letter. And I'm just going to break down the fundamentals of snitching, right? The basis of snitching is that you're telling information with the intent of getting somebody in trouble. All right, so in this case, Jake wrote a grievance letter. And in his case, a grievance letter is like a letter to the warden, basically explaining something that happened with the COs, the correctional officers, maybe unfair conditions, inhumane treatment, something along those lines that you're experiencing in a prison. And the intent is to better the situation for yourself. Maybe COs will get fired. The outcome could be whatever the outcome could be, right? But the intent is not to get another inmate in trouble. It's a grievance letter. This isn't some kind of disciplinary report. But in this grievance letter, he referenced the incident that happened that got him 210 days in solitary confinement. In the grievance letter, he referenced the person that hit him. It was like a lock in the sock, hit him in the back of the head with the lock in the sock. And he mentioned that person by name. And that's the part that people had a problem with. They see a name on the grievance letter and boom, Jake's a snitch. But it doesn't really work that way. You got to really be able to think for yourself. Jake himself had 210 days in solitary confinement. 210 days, that's 30 weeks. That's damn near 60% of the year. So when he wrote this grievance letter to the warden, motherfucker's already in trouble. It's not to get out of trouble or to get someone else in trouble. The consequences was already there. He's basically saying the way that the COs wrote this shit up, they was making him look bad when really he didn't do shit. And since everybody involved in that situation was already in trouble, how would that be snitching? Everybody already is on the disciplinary report. So I would ask that question, like, how would anybody get in trouble for something that happened in the past that is already on the public record, that you already been punished for at that? So the part that got me fucked up, man, is that people keep trying to move the goalposts about what they consider to be snitching. And the expectation that they're putting on him, right? They're saying that you're not supposed to say anybody's name under any kind of circumstance, which it sounds like a decent rule to follow. If you're following the street code, you're like, all right, I'm not saying nobody's name, right? But the shit happened in the past. The people had already faced consequences and it's already on the public record. How would that be telling? I'm referencing factual information that you already know about. They've already been charged. How would that be snitching? And I got an example for you, right? Just to put it into perspective for you. That would be like me saying that Lee Harvey Oswald killed JFK. That shit is literally in the history books being taught all across the country. Would that make me a snitch? Because I'm not supposed to say anybody's name by name? We already know this to be fact. Like, Lee Harvey Oswald killed JFK. Would that be me telling on a murderer? Would that be me speaking on a homicide? Fuck no, this shit's already public. This shit is already in the past. That shit is already played out. I'm not bringing no new information to the table. I'm speaking on shit that already happened. And I say all that to say this: y'all are reaching. Y'all are doing some real goofy shit. Y'all are trying to find anything that you possibly can to put dirt on 1090 Jake's name. And I don't like that shit, man. But that's where I stand with the situation. I know everyone's going to have their own opinion. That's fair to have your own opinion. But like I said, realistically, that's like me speaking on the JFK situation. Something in the past, something is already public record. I'm not giving up any new information to try to plead my grievance letter to the warden to benefit myself and help me get out of a situation that ain't really truthfully reported properly. But y'all gotta let me know, man. Did 1090 Jake snitch? What do y'all think, man? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to see what the public perception is, especially after you have all the facts. If you just see a headline, it said 1090 Jake exposed, you never looked into it, you might have seen the paperwork, you might have just saw the name at the very top, not having any context to the situation whatsoever, and you're going to run around saying 1090 Jake exposed. I really don't fuck with people who just read headlines and then run around saying shit. But to each his own. My audience ain't really on that type of shit, so I'm not surrounding myself with people that are on that type of shit, so it is what it is. But let me know. But Jake, keep doing your thing, man. I'm rocking with y'all how y'all rocking with me. You get the picture, though. My rant is over. This is I Don't Need Clout the Podcast, episode 11. Mace Blanco on 610 from G's to Millions. I'll see you next time. I'll see you on the other side.